such as the cell phones and the exams. To begin with, are the teachers. The way of teaching can influence you. For example, you don't like a teacher who gives a lot of exercises and you pass every class writing and thinking the answer, and then imagine that you're going to have classes with her or him until the last day of the 6th year. So the best way to have good results is to endure the boredom and get used little by little, because maybe one day you will like her or his classes. This takes us to another topic. The concept is very important because for many teachers, this is the mark which influences the most in the report. The key is to take notes of the important words and ideas. I also advise you to not laugh at a joke a student makes because it is irrespectful and teachers will take it into account. Besides, put your hands up to give an answer only when you know it, and never give a fast answer that has nothing to do with the question. Getting back to the notes, they are important because they will be later fundamental for the exams. The tests are a way of showing you that you have learned a certain subject. As I said at the beginning, there are obstacles that are in charge of making the word study more difficult. For example, the technology. Nowadays, many children have their own cell phones and also many pass all the day using them. Not for information, no, nor for study, but for playing games or speaking with their friends, while she or he can talk with them face to face. In this case, for them, the time passes very fast and the time for them to study becomes shorter. Another example is the low self-esteem. Many people aren't confident of themselves. Before the test, when you need to study, they directly don't study because they think that they in their lives were going to pass them. This is sad because those people, maybe with a little of effort, they can maybe pass the exams. But what they're doing is to throw the opportunity to the dustbin. Now, I advise you to not study for 4 hours a day and at the same time thinking in the PS4, but because that is useless. You are not learning, you are memorizing, or worse, you are wasting time. You only need to study between 15 and 25 minutes, but learning really. Finally, with those different marks, teachers make an average, and that will be your final mark. In conclusion, follow these steps and you will have good results.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Constanza Preisinato, and today I'm going to talk about isolation. First of all, what is isolation? Well, there's two types of isolation: social isolation and individual isolation. Social isolation is the lack of contact between an individual and society. An individual isolation is the decision to cut contact between society and an individual in particular. First of all, I'm going to talk about the reasons of social isolation. This could be, in most things, domestic violence connected with a family crisis, health or any type of disability, uh, or society adversity. In adults, it could be loss of companion or loneliness, in unemployment, or the pass of age. The solutions for social isolation could be inclusion, therapy, or friendliness. This is all because when a teen or an adult decide to cut themselves from society, the best way to get them back in track is to be friendly to them, to show them that there is nothing they have to be afraid of when reality hits. And therapy could help a lot if they have any family crisis or problems in their house. Then there are some red flags of, again, social isolation. Not going to parties can be one of them, because when the people want to cut contact between everyone, they don't want to be in a place where everyone is around all the time. The second one is not responding to messages or calls. Again, if people want to cut contact, they don't want to talk to people. They want to be alone. Then blocking people in real life or in the internet. This could be a big red flag by the way this person acts or communicate in public. Then the most dangerous red flag is missing school for a long time. This could mean a lot of things, but one of them is social isolation. Now, individual isolation. Some reasons, again, I describe individual isolation as the decision to cut contact between society and an individual in particular. The reasons for individual isolation could be bullying, this person that is isolated, rumors, or to get control of the team. That is what happens almost every time. This is because when a bully is very manipulative or controlling to someone, it could generate total isolation from them from society. The solutions of individual isolation is to step up for them because, like most of you know, the one of the biggest parts of bullying is the people that don't step out for the victim. Then again, inclusion, therapy, and friendliness are great solutions for this. The red flags are the same as social isolation, parties, messages or call, blocking, and missing school. But in this case, instead of miss school, they would miss classes because if they don't want to be around people, but they are obligated to be with a certain person in particular, they would go to that class when they have with that person that is manipulating them. Um, so why is isolation nowadays so great, so big? If after all, 45% of teens have been isolated or get isolated. This is because with the new era and all the technology that we have, it's not anymore needed to go outside and to socialize with people. You can socialize via internet, and it could be the same for a person with isolation to stay inside home to talk with people they really like to talk, or to go outside and be with people they don't like. As Sukarno, the ex-president of Indonesia, said, the worst cruelty that can be inflicted on a human is being isolated. So help if you see someone getting isolated or that is being isolated. Thank you very much.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maria Julia Vecchia, and today I'm going to talk about fake news. If you don't know, fake news are false stories that appear to be news, but they tell lies or change the way that something happened. They are usually to influence political views or as a show. My first argument is educational. Parents have to teach kids to not believe all the things that they can see on social media, hear on TV, or hear on the radio, because it could happen that information shared could be wrong, and that in most of cases it can cause an affection to that person. For example, they can react in a bad way, and in the most extreme case, they can die. Well, one example of fake news happened on 1986. There was a rumor that says that the world was going to disappear. Most of the people that hear that get panicked and commit suicide. And finally, now we know that the world doesn't end that day, so a lot of people died without a real reason. Another example that happens on 1928, it was that at that time they don't have TVs, so they in the seats radio novel. If you don't know what a radio novel is, they are like radios where they narrate stories, making sounds or talking like actors like seeing a TV but listening. Well, at that time, the day of Halloween, that day of Halloween, they narrate a story that was based on that the Martians are going to attack and attack our planet. So most of the audience that hear that, imagine of that on that time, get panic and impact and shocked, and most of them have panic attacks and heart diseases. So most of them finally die because of that. Continuing, now my economic argument. Fake news can also win companies or political parties, because maybe if someone posts something bad for that company that is wrong, for example, that they work on that company and that while working there they get intoxicated. Also, they think that the product that they made is have toxics, for example, food, perfume, or drinks, and the people that or the consumers that buy that will stop buying it, and the company's money would go down. Um, it's important to think after posting a news that you read on social media, because some of them are fake and maybe they can could affect you on a bad way, as I said before. So be careful of what you read and don't believe everything that is on social media. It's also important to advise your friends and family or anyone that you know that not everything is true and to be careful of what they read or hear. Thanks for listening and hope you enjoyed. And remember to think before sharing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justina Maria Pasos Afoa. Today I'm going to talk about beauty image and beauty companies. Have you ever felt like you don't achieve with the beauty standard or that you're not beautiful enough? Well, this is because the big beauty companies show us how we are supposed to look or how is the perfect beauty. Actually, there are some beauty companies such as Calvin Klein and Gap that have an advertise that show us that everybody is perfect no matter the complexion or the size of the body. But there are some other companies like Victoria's Secret that they show that the perfect beauty is a tall, skinny girl. And this is a big problem nowadays, mostly in the teenagers, because we are really influenced by these kind of things. This is a problem between the ages of 12 to 18 because you're looking for a personality and who you are. And these are red advertisings can make you feel confused or maybe they can make you feel bad in your own skin. So we are accustomed to the image of the perfect body and we can sometimes make horrible comments like he looks ugly, he's getting fat, and he looks like a fetus. And we don't know how these comments can affect the other person. Maybe these comments can make teenagers feel depressed or isolated. In conclusion, sorry, and you can feel like you're not beautiful enough, but you're beautiful, but you're beautiful in your own way. You have to love yourself, love your personality. We are in a society that thinks there is only one way of being perfect, and that way is being skinny and beautiful. And this is a wrong way of thinking because of all the arguments I gave you before. Thank you for listening, and remember, together we can stop this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bianca Mutica, and I am going to talk about discrimination. Discrimination is an unfair treatment caused by many people. There are many types of discrimination, for example, about your religion or nationality or your complexion. I invented a phrase that is, if you say nothing, come to one. What does this phrase mean? It means that if you are being bullied, for example, talk to someone, to your parents, to your friends, or to the teacher as well. And know that you never look good trying to make someone else look bad. And realize that if you turn and face the other way when someone is being bullied, you might as well be the bully too. One of the questions that everyone asks themselves is why people bully. Maybe they are unhappy, or they want to copy others, or they are tough. So if you see that someone is suffering bullying, don't doubt and help and talk to him. And if you are a bully, stop and put on the other person's feet. Don't be a zero, be a hero and stop from being a bully. Thanks for listening and remember to try to avoid bullying.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm here to talk about cell phones in kids' life. A lot of the old or adult people always tell us that the cell phones are bad or that they make us look like robots and disconnected with the world. and we always try to ignore them. But maybe we should listen and try to understand what they are trying to tell us, because we don't know what can happen. Kids usually go to bed very late because of the cell phones. This could be a problem in the future. Kids need to rest. We also use them all the time instead of talking. Maybe talking about our day or what we did in the weekend. The cell phone can hurt our sight and our back. Why can them hurt our back? Because of the position that we get used to when we use them. We always listen to what the adults say, but they should listen to us too. Cell phones have their bad part and their good part, like being able to look or search on the internet information that we need to know in just a few seconds. We can play games with our friends and follow them in social media. In conclusion, cell phones are not glorious and they are not bad. They are very useful when we use them in a moderated way.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Garcia Caluna, and today I'm going to be talking about contamination. Contamination affects mainly our air and the water, the air we breathe every day, and that's why we should be interested on this subject. Because of our advanced technology, the factories were created. Did they help us? Yes, they did. But what were the consequences? The air pollution, the water pollution. The cars are other of the main causes, because most of them work delivering carbon dioxide. People got used to use a very non-material, plastic, which takes hundreds of years to degrade and pollutes a lot. By using plastic glasses, straws, bottles, and many things more, you pollute a lot. But not everyone cares about it. Instead, they say it's a lie and it's a myth. And they also say that it won't affect us. Well, let me tell you that there's people suffering or people who suffered and even died because they got intoxicated. And don't think it won't affect you, because it can. And if everything continues the way it is, it will. And it will affect everyone. The world is ours, let's take care of it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Martina Garcia, and today I'm going to talk about how adults' arguments affect their children's relationship. Adults' arguments are very constant, but the important thing is how that argument affects their children's friendship. For example, in the school, they will feel they are part of the assert and could start making groups and insulting each other. Or feel sad because they think that they will be betray their parents if they want to be friends. Or as a way or as way trying to be superior than the other children who could bully each other. The reason of the arg mustn't be their children fight. Parents should take the responsibility of being adults and look for the way to solve the problem. We can see this in the novel Romeo and Juliet. The story ends in a tragedy only because their parents had a lot of discussions between them. If parents translate the discussion to the children, then the child learns to solve the problems in a conflicted way. In conclusion, if parents are going to fight, they should exclude the child of the arguments and explain them that it isn't their fault. And in case the children fight, parents, instead of being part of it, should help.
After the break, we'll meet after the break, okay?